Well, great morning, great morning, great morning, Vital Health family. How you guys doing this morning? I am truly, truly jacked up and excited to actually be in front of you guys today, and really excited to share some incredible information that I believe that can make an impact. I'm Athon Clemens out of the Atlanta market. Actually been here about 30 years now, originally from the nation's capital by way of North Carolina, where my family roots are. And guys, I've really, really been able to do I think, some great things in this industry, and it's really changed my life in so many ways. It's saved my life. And so today, I really wanted to kind of walk people through several things about my journey, as well as share some things that allow me to be consistent in this industry. And so there may be some things that I share with you that you can take away and apply to your business. And I love the AM call because one of those things that, from a motivational standpoint, to hear the history, the experience of the leaders and what they've been able to share to help everyone take their business with some nuggets that can really change your life, guys. And so today, a lot of people may have don't know my story, and sometimes we see the glory of what people do. But today, I'm gonna give you all the sure enough real deal, as they would say, the Holyfield deal, guys. We're gonna really talk about the journey of being in this industry and how it all happened for me, guys. And so my background is really one of those where a lot of people, I got started in corporate America after leaving college. We didn't have a lot of money. I didn't even have any money to go to college. No grandchild in my family at that time had even gone to college. We just didn't have the money. We didn't have the resources. But after leaving college, I actually got into the sales field, all because I saw someone in college that was making a lot of money working for a company back in the day called Circuit City. And I remember seeing a check for $10,000 in college. And when I left, I went to that company. And that company, I got in a management program, and they end up offering me an opportunity to come to Atlanta. And that's how I ended up coming here years ago. And after being in retail for about 3 or 4 years, I decided to get in technology because that was what I majored in school. But then I finally found a company that would give me an opportunity, and that company was, to me, it was everything. It was a company called MCI back then. Maybe you guys remember that company. We used to call it many changes instantly, right? They were always changing, but it was amazing what was happening. And I remember I got invited to my first network marketing meeting with a company with these two guys that were working there with me, and they invited me and said, Athon, come take a look at this company that we're really excited about being a part of. And I said, okay. I went and looked at it because I was really open to looking at it. And guess what company it was, guys? It was Excel Communication. This is 1992, 93, somewhere along there. And because I had this corporate mindset at the time, I thought that I was going to climb the corporate ladder with MCI. I didn't realize I had my ladder on the wrong building. Hello, somebody. It was actually one of those things I learned a lot, but I realized when I sat down and watched the information about that company, I just didn't get it. I just didn't understand the model. It just didn't hit. It was like I just said, why would I want to join this company I'm working for, MCI, and they were the beat all corporate company in technology. So I didn't get started, guys. And so I went on a journey in technology, continued to do that, stayed in that field for many years, became a project manager for a company, and did very well as a project manager for 5 years and made multiple six figures. I thought I really made it, had all these certifications, and then all of a sudden, 2005 hit, the contract ended. We didn't win the bid back. It went out to the field, and they decided to bring it in house and hired some of our people. Matter of fact, I was actually managing, right? And so I thought back then that I could actually go and command a salary and a job because I had worked so hard and create some success in that field. Here's what I found out. Nobody was calling. This was right in the beginning of the recession, 2006, when things were really starting to slow down and companies started outsourcing, right? Nobody was hiring direct and nobody was calling. And I was like, what is going on? I'm not getting a phone call from nobody. And so finally, there's several things that happened. One, my father, who's deceased today, he basically went through the same thing that I went through 5 years before me and got fired at the age of 59. 59, he got fired, called me extremely upset. And he was right. He was a great cusser, right? He was just really going off and he was mad. And I was like, Pop, why did this happen? And he just didn't know why it happened. I explained it, but he said, I'm not going to do it again. I'm not working for anybody else. And I said, what are you going to do? He said, I'm going to start a business. At 59, he started a business and it changed his life. And I looked at that, what he did, and it inspired me. So 5 years later, in 2005, 6, where I couldn't find a job, I thought about my father. And he said, you know what? Man, you can come home, and he had a thriving trucking business. You can get involved with me. And I said, you know what, Pops, that's your dream. I got to figure out my dream. And so I finally picked up the phone and called a gentleman that had been calling me, guys. Listen to this. For years, from when I was back in MCI in the 90s, his name is Mr. Cliff Beats. He's actually a part of Vital Health today. And he was my first sponsor. And he said to me for years, he would call me, Athon, I want you to come take a look at this business. Athon, you need to come take a look at this. And I would never go. You want to know why? It was because of the mindset. The mindset that I had back then was like, I just didn't get it. I was too busy doing a lot of things, not only technology, I became a promoter, I was throwing parties, I was doing all kinds of stuff, but I just didn't have the right mindset. Well, when my back was against the wall, I decided, let me call this guy, Cliff. And I called him, and he said to me that day, he said, Athon, I've been waiting on you. He saw something in me that I didn't see in myself. And he asked me to meet him at his mentor's home. And when I met him there, a couple by the name of Mike and Simone Webster, they were seven-figure earners in the industry of network marketing. I walked in their home, and I didn't know anybody that was working from home at that time. And I just was blown away. I couldn't believe what I was seeing, the house, the cars, all the pictures of all the trips that they were taking. I was like, what kind of money are you guys making? I wasn't as polished today back then, right? But really wasn't. And I kept asking them what kind of money, because I didn't know anybody that was working from home. And they didn't want to talk about the money. They wanted to talk about the people they were helping. They were like, we just help a lot of people around the world. And I said, well, that sounds great, but how do you do this? And so finally, I said, what kind of money are you guys making? And finally, because I wouldn't let it go, my buddy said, just show him your back office. And when they showed me their back office and they said, this is our residual check for the month. And I said, residual, what are you talking about? They said, well, look at another check like this. And it was close to $40,000. It's $38,000. I'll never forget it. I said, wait a minute, you make this every month? And I felt ignorant for the first time in my life. I really felt like I didn't understand something. But that was my declaration day that I said, you know what? I'm going to learn how to do this. But here's what happened. I didn't have the money to get started. It cost $200 for that project back then. And I said to them, give me a week because I got to make some arrangements. Anybody ever had to make some arrangements to make some things happen because you believe in something so big that could change your life? And I did that. And a week later, I kept my word and I got started. And I did everything that they told me to do. Guys, I became so infused with understanding network marketing. I became a student. Guys, and when they told me my first day, my sponsor said to me, he said, Athon, I want you to go get this book called My First Year in Network Marketing by Mark Yarnell. I didn't ask no questions. I went and got the book, right? It's like the book for network marketing for people who have never done it before. That book opened up everything. And I remember them asking me and sharing things with me, like, what are you listening to? And I don't want to even tell you what I said I was listening to, right? When I think about these things, they're funny today, but it's where I was back then, right? I was like, well, I'm listening to Rakim and the Isley Brothers. I didn't know what they were talking about. They were talking about personal development. And they said, okay. And then they asked me what I was reading. And then I told them something else that was crazy. But what happened was they started introducing me to all these different books, like from Zig Ziglar to Jim Rohn to Tony Robbins to Les Browns, all these people that really I had never heard anything about because in college or anywhere I went, no one talked about personal development. Network marketing changed my life and saved my life because of the personal development. And ladies and gentlemen, I still listen to personal development every single morning when I wake up. It has become a religion for me to do it. Why? Because it continues to allow me to download things mentally that allow me to actually get better and really helping people win in life as general. And so, guys, I took off running with that company, guys. Took off. I mean, I'm talking about ignorant on fire. I believe so big. I mean, everything that could have happened, happened. My girlfriend broke up with me shortly because I was on the go every weekend. I didn't even care. I just kept it going. Sometimes, you end up getting started in something, you believe in it, and you realize you're sleeping with the enemy. Uh-oh. I'm just saying, guys, I realized at that time that she just wasn't checked in and what I was believing in, but I just kept going. In my first 60 days, guys, I was able to hit a couple of ranks and don't even know how I did it. And I realized that I didn't understand certain things. And one thing I was like a lot of people when they get started in this industry, wanting to do the presentation and didn't understand how to do the presentation, but I wanted to do it. I was good at getting people in front of the information. I remember my mentor, one of the mentors that was a top earner in that company said to me, not only to me, but to a bunch of people, if you want to get good and build an incredible business in this industry, you got to do a couple of things. Number one, you got to get good at getting people in front of the information, right? So I had gotten pretty good at that, right? But then he said something that hit me. It's like I was in church or something. He said, if you really wanted to get good, you got to be able to present the information. And I made a decision that day. I said, you know what? I can't wait on people to do the presentation for me. I've got to learn. I wanted all the smoke, right? I made a decision. And I walked up to Mr. Bean and I said to him, I need to learn how to do the presentation. He said, Athon, come by my house. I've been waiting on you. And I said, I'm ready. He said, you got to learn how to move people without putting your hands on them. Sounded like a riddle back then. I didn't quite get it, but I figured it out, right? Real quickly, right? And so what that man was be able to speak to people with a posture that really can help them see the vision of what you believe in and how they can be a part of that and go with you. And so that journey took off, and we continued to do that throughout that program. And for 3 years, I was able to really learn a lot. And so from that company, I was the foundation of what we've been able to do is have success. I ask questions today when people actually say that, if we introduce them to Vital Health and say, you know what, I've been there, I've done that, and it just didn't work for me. And I always ask the question, who was your sponsor? Who introduced you to that project that you were in? You know what I found in my career? Most of the time, it's either somebody that they love or somebody that they trust, but do they have the experience to help them be successful? Right? You normally partner up with maybe your relative or your home girl or your homeboy, somebody that you love and trust. But do they have the ability to help you have success? And so now you're both in the business because you really see the vision, but how do you really do it? Mentors make the difference in regards to you having your success. Where's your mentorship at, and who's helping you be successful? So I had great mentors back then, and they really got underneath me, and I did everything that they shared with me to do. I mean, I really, guys, I went so involved with that organization. I just didn't turn left, I didn't turn right, I just kept going forward. And so you've got to be able to have the great mentors that will really allow you to really become more attractive mentally so that they will go where you want to go as well too. They see the vision with you through you. And that has been the gem for me in my career. When people say they didn't have any success, I always ask the question, who's your mentor? Who's the person that really helped you be successful? Is there someone that has really laid a foundation for you to have success? And what I found that typically when they don't have success, it goes back to the mentorship. They didn't have the mentorship. They didn't have the personal development. The things that the foundation of this industry is having that mentorship, guys. And look, to just keep this story going, guys, I want to tell you something. As you get better, relationships are everything to me. Relationships are life-changing, and you want to keep those relationships. I want you guys to stay with me because there's several things I'm going to share with you today because I'm going to keep it all the way real. I've been in this industry now almost 20 years, right? 20 years coming up on that, right? And I've been pretty successful in every company. Now, here's the thing. When I got started, I ended up going back to corporate America at that time for a company that called me because I really needed the money. It takes a minute to get going, but I was so excited about the industry that I was learning then how to focus on what? Network marketing. And the job was like almost became secondary in a sense because the concept and the people and the information they were sharing and the lifestyle, it had me so driven. So I had to really find a way to balance. And I really wanted to leave corporate, but I wasn't ready. And they told me they had to really talk me off the ledge. Athon, we'll tell you when you're ready. I wasn't ready. Guys, I stayed with that company for 3 years and we went on and had some great things and then moved on to something else, right? And had some success in another company, right? But that company, I missed the run on that company because things happened in personal life with my father. I had to leave the project. He was ill and I had to take care of him until he transitioned. I was out of Atlanta for almost 2.5 years. And so I came back in 14, back to Atlanta, and decided that I had to find something else. I had to start all over again, right? And found a company at that time that was relatively where we are with Vital Health, right? 2014, found a company that had about 10,000 people. No one had done what they'd done. And I saw the vision and we took off running. I didn't have a team or anything, but that first month, I was able to attract enough people. Matter of fact, I was the #1 recruiter that month. Why? Because my back was against the wall. There are reasons in life that we can have success, so something's got to drive you. Well, I was broke, right? I remember getting started with that company. It was $100. I only had $300 and some in the bank. So after getting started, I had about less than $200 in the bank. So I sponsored 35 people that month. Why? Because there was a goal to the #1 person that really sponsored the most people that month won $2,000. I needed that money, right? And nobody knew my name really, right? But my name went up in lights because I won the top dog contest, right? I was so determined. I went on for 5 years with that company, earning multiple six figures every single year, all because we were driven, we had done the work, we had really gotten pretty good at helping people, and we continue to do that. And so that's been the journey for those first, from 2005 up to 2014 to 19, we became full time for 5 years, guys. I mean, I was only doing network marketing full time. And so during the pandemic, guys, here's what happened. I was at home building something else. And then I got a phone call from a company and asked me if I would be willing to take a look at coming in. Oh, well, a lot of us were home. They were just starting to bring people back. And I decided to go take a look because I knew the gentleman there because he was actually my director when I was in IT. And so I took that about 3 years ago. Why am I telling you this? Because sometimes, guys, it's okay to go back and have a job to really support you to build your dream. See, I knew that I was actually in transition in a company that had already gone left. And I said, I needed something more stable, right? And so I still have that job today, guys. Now, my goal is here, and I'm telling everybody here that Vital Health, I plan to walk away next year. Why? Because you can't put a price on freedom. Freedom is not free until you get free and help somebody be free. If you have a great job, that is a beautiful thing. If you love your job, that's even more greater. But I myself love freedom. I love the ability to be and do help people around the country. And so what's allowing me to continue to do these things in network marketing? Because I love the fact that your life can change drastically if you just get better. And I'll continue to work on myself because the personal development has been the key ingredient and being around like-minded people that I really enjoy being connected with. There's no better industry to me than network marketing. I love this industry with all my heart because I know what it's done for me. My family even says that, Athon, look, you became someone totally different when you got in this industry. You've always been a good person and a good heart, but it just really changed my life because of the principles that I put in place along as I built through different models with great people. And so for me, I want you guys to know that everyone can really have success in this industry, but there are certain things that you have to be willing to do. There's a daily method of operation that one has to do. Even though I'm in the office, right? I'm work from home on Friday, so that's why I'm doing it today, right? I wanted to do the AM call, and I'm going to continue to do this because I believe this call does so much for people. How is it that we can learn from each other and take our business and our life to the next level? How is it that we can really plug into information that can really change our life on a whole nother level? This AM call is one of the best calls I've seen in a company that really can motivate people to understand through other people's journey on how they can have success. And that's what I love about this call. And I love this company dearly, guys. I believe in my career, I've seen some great things. But in Vital Health, guys, I haven't seen anything like this. Not even close. I'm talking about everything here is so different. I am locked in. Anybody calls me about anything, I'm good. Appreciate it. Go ahead and enjoy yourself. Love your life. This is the deal of a century to me because we have all the things that are so different. And so I want to share a couple of things with you guys that I do every single day because I have to be able to see something, right? I want to really take you on a journey in my place here because I got all this personal development stuff posted up everywhere, like some of you guys do as well. I see somebody, is that Daniel's back wall there? I see some great stuff back there, right? I've got that stuff. I've got to see it. I'm looking at it right now. Get 1% better every day. The key to success is to focus on your goals, your obstacles. Be brave, be strong, be fearless. These are things that I wake up and see every single day because you got to see it and to believe it. You got to download this every single day. And so, guys, one of the things that I live by, and maybe, again, guys, I'm a little old school. I'm just saying, I've been doing this for a long time. And there's a couple of things that I do. And so I wanted to share with you guys some of the things I do. And maybe, just maybe there'll be some things that you'll do too, and you may already be doing them. So I've got a couple of different books here. So this is my Vital Health book here, right? This is my diamond book here. So every diamond call that I'm on, and shout out to David and Brooke, right, is in regards to everything that they bring to the table as our success team upline. But I've got, this is the diamond call, right? So everything that goes on these diamond calls, I'm taking notes on everything. I'm a note taker. Why? Because I got to be able to follow. You know, the fortune's in the follow-up. So I'm taking notes constantly. Why? Because I better be able to go back and take a look at what we discussed and what we talked about. So I'm always writing down things because my goals, I have to see them. I've got to be able to look back on and see, did I reach my goal? Did I meet my goal? But this is what happens in their call every single Thursday and any other call that comes up. But this is one of them, right? But here's the big one right here, guys. Here's the big one. This is the old school in me right here, guys. The calendar, guys. This is the calendar, right? This is this month's calendar. You see this? It's a little busy, right? It's got stuff all over it, right? This is already booked for the month of September. What does your calendar look, guys? What does it look like? What does it look like? Look, I look at my calendar as a navigation system for my present and my future success. Let me say that again. I look at the calendar as my navigation system for the present and my future success. Here's why, because I need to be able to see it, right? You see up top, it says go double diamond. I've got the number, what it takes to get there, right? Right? I've got to see this every single day, guys. Every single day, I got to see something that's going to drive me and motivate me. I'm looking at all the things throughout this whole week, next week. The calendar is packed out already. I got about 3 days open towards the latter part before we go to Puerto Vallarta. Anybody going to Puerto Vallarta? Guys, come on to go to Puerto Vallarta. We're going to have a great time there. I'm excited about that. Not only that, are you coming to Anaheim? Are you coming to Anaheim? Yeah, we already got our ticket. Guys, I have to have this, right? I got to see my future. This is actually, I learned a long time ago from a multi-millionaire that this is actually your income calculator. That's what the calendar is. This is your income calculator because I can predict based on what I do what my income is going to look like. Now, if there's nothing here, there's nothing for me to really look forward to, right? So I keep this on me constantly. I have to have this. I talk about the production. So just this past week, guys, let me just share this with you. These are just things that I believe in. So this past week on Wednesday, we had a team launch, right? My goal as a team launch, we're doing a relaunch for the team, myself and the organization. We just wanted to really go out here and hit it hard again. And so I was blessed to have, the Nevis come on and do a call. Well, I wrote down in the book here that I wanted to have at least as a team, we wanted to have 100 people on that call, right? I was determined. I left work early for a couple of days because I needed to call more people, right? I stayed up late because I needed to call more people. Well, when I go back here and look, what does it say on Wednesday? We had 103 people on that call. 103, right? All because we wrote it down. There's a good book that I've read and we read from time to time. In order to really have success, sometimes you got to write it down and you got to make it plain. You got to be able to see where you're going. If you don't know where you're going in life, any road will take you there. Woo-wee. If you don't know where you're going in life, any road will take you there. My great uncle told me that years ago, right? When I was a young man, right? You got to know where you're going. And so we want to really have these foundational things that can help people see. See, all of us are busy doing something. And see, the reason why I share with you guys that I'm still in corporate is because sometimes you think that, or people just assume that if you go diamond, you may not have a job. You're just full time. Guys, I'm still got a job and I'm grateful that I do. Do I love what I do? It's okay, but I respect it. But I love network marketing. I love vital health. This is the way to get to freedom. This is a way to really change your life if that's what you're looking for. See, I always wanted to do this on a level where I could actually stand in front of the room and tell people why I made a decision that I wanted to get free, all because I applied the principles, the philosophy on how to really help people. I just believe if you help enough people get what they want in life, you'll get what you want just by default. And I continue to help people and inspire them because I'm no different. I just made a decision when I saw this industry. I realized that it offered so much that I had to really be the example of what could happen. I worked my tail off and I still do that because I've never found a model that allowed me to work on myself more than I need work on myself. And that's the thing that I love about this industry is that it can do so much for you if you apply these principles every single day. I don't take no days off. I'm always doing something. It's very difficult sometimes when you're actually a guy who believes in just really going hard. I haven't been married. I don't have any children. I don't even have a dog. It's just me. I'm always out here going to get it, guys. I just believe that when you find something that can make a change in your life and deposit things in your life that really that you can always look back on and see what it's done for you. We all have something that we've gone through in life and we all have got that story. And sometimes we just don't know where people have been through. And so network marketing to me has allowed me to create a story of success, of helping people have success through something we believe in. When we look at what we have in front of us right now with vital health, we've got something that is making a major impact in people's lives. We're making a difference. I did an event just a weekend last Monday, took the day off, guys. I'm telling you, I'm serious about this. Took the day off. I'm working with a lady that I didn't sponsor, Dr. Maxine Kane, right? She's a socialite and does a lot here in this Atlanta market. I met her through my sponsors. And guess what, guys? Watch this. How is it that you come into an industry that is mentored by people, right? 20 years ago, mentored by people, and then you end up sponsoring? Think about that. The same people that I met in this industry 20 years ago, Mr. and Mrs. Webster, I signed up in network marketing in their house in 2005, 2006. They joined me my first month and they were retired, totally retired. Didn't need it for the money, but not only did they decide it because of the product, but they said, Athon, we just respect the fact that you're still out here helping people. Why? Guys, I just turned 60 a week and a half ago. Guys, it don't stop. And so I'll look, until they put the dirt on top of me, I'm going to do network marketing. I'm going to do this until the wheels fall off. Why? Because I know that there's something that's here that I can't get somewhere else. There's nothing like an industry that really provides so much. And so on your journey, guys, you got to figure out what's going to continue to motivate you and what's going to drive you. You just got to get better. We all have to get better, right? There's always another level to life because there's levels to this thing. And so for me, I was able to go back in Vital Health and attract people that actually believed in me 20 years ago. That's the power of relationships. My first sponsor, he's in the business, right? Several mentors that were retired, they came out of retirement to run with me. Guys, I'm so grateful that they made a decision. Why? Because that allowed them and myself to really take this to the next level pretty quickly. And it's all because of those relationships. I keep relationships tight, even the ones that I've built in corporate. I don't burn bridges. My integrity is always at a high level. It's because that my name means so much to me that I have to make sure I respect the name and something that I said I was going to do. And so Vital Health is, I believe, is a platform that can really make that difference in people's lives because the products are not on trial, but what's on trial is what people are going through out there today in society. It's happening. We are now, right now, in an industry, and actually in our country, there's a lot going on. Well, we've got something that can make a difference in regards to people's lives. Be willing to go through the fire. Be willing to go through all the things. Take the arrows of all the no's. No's, when a person tells me no, I just mean, okay, that's not right now. I'll check back with you in about 30 to 60 days and see what you're doing then. Because things change every 30, 60, 90 days. Things change in people's lives because you've got to be able to go out there and inspire something that you found that's making a difference. And you can't tell me anything more inspirational than what we have here. When you have an AI bot that speaks to people, when you have a scanner that shows you exactly what's going on, we have got the deal of the century, and there's nothing else out there that's even close. I'm always going to support the industry because it's giving me so much. I love the industry. I've never talked bad about the industry, but I love that we have something that makes a difference and we have a different purpose on helping people really go to the next level. Whenever you make that decision that you want to go to the next level, it can happen tomorrow. Whenever you make the decision that it's your time to be even better, you can make that decision. It's really your decision when you want to do it. That's what it's been for me, guys. When I make a decision, I'm locked all the way in. I'm not looking left. I'm not looking right. I'm looking straight ahead. Who can I help next? And who is it that I need to really speak to? My goal every single day, guys, I do my best to talk to at least 5 to 10 people a day. That meaning either I'm in the office, look, I know they wonder what I be doing because I be gone so much. I'm on the phone somewhere downstairs, right? It's what I do. Until I leave, I'm going to continue to help people see what we're doing here. Why? Because it's so important to get people to really be a part of something, especially at the beginning. It is so important to understand the timing and positioning of the equity that you can earn because you're at the beginning of a company that has a massive movement, doing a ridiculous amount of revenue every single month. Guys, we hear the numbers, $8, $9 million a month. Where are you doing that at? Vital Health. This is the deal right here, guys. So regardless of what you go through, because you're going to go through, just keep going. Just keep going because there's going to always be something coming at us. It's always life happens, right? People say, I'm too busy. Well, move some food over off your plate and get some dessert with Vital Health, right? Get some dessert over here because it's sweet over here. It's a chance where you get an opportunity to really show people we got something different that really can make an impact in their life. I'm so driven and so focused and fired up about this company. Every day, I wake up every morning like, who can I call and who can I help next? Who can I really get out there and touch? I'm about to go to another level. I'm always thinking about what can I do different to really attract more people. I'll just try different things, right? I'm about to put on a Vital Health t-shirt and go out here in the streets and just start talking to people, right? Just got to do what I got to do in order to get to the next level because I've got to help more people. It's on me. The team that's running with me, they have to do the same thing. We all have to do it together. But collectively, I'm going to be one out front, running, saying this is the place to be. Vital Health right now is the hottest company that's out here in this industry, and the numbers show it and perfect it in itself. We've got something that is really special. Don't play with this one. This is not the one to miss, guys. Just don't miss it. Why? Because we deserve it. If you've been out here in this industry and you've been believing for so long, but you've been looking to achieve, now's your time to really make a difference, guys. You really have to do your all. Sometimes your best is not good enough in life. Sometimes it has to be necessary. And it's necessary that we go out here and tell the story on why so many people are benefiting. The concept and the idea of the incredible Dr. Antonio Rodriguez, what we're doing here is truly amazing. And you're talking to a guy who's been living this lifestyle of Vital Health, all because I had an issue with blood pressure years ago. I changed my lifestyle, and now I'm living a better life because of Vital Health. Guys, I want to thank each and every one of you for really dialing in today. Look, I even got sweating up here. I'm fired up today, guys. I hope you all are fired up. Hopefully I said something that inspired you. Go out there and build something for your dreams. Create you a calendar, get you a calendar and rock out every single day and look back and say, I did that all because I had a calendar to go back and look at, guys. Thank you for your time. I appreciate each and every one of you. Go out there and live your dreams, guys, because we got something that's special and we all truly deserve it. Thank you so much. You guys have a great evening.